Okay, beautiful people. I think we're good. I think we're live. Yeah, looks like we're live. Yes, we are. Yeah, I think we're live. Okay, we're live. Okay, YouTube has told me that we're live. And yeah, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy. It's tais.worldtv. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? It's the OP Boys segment. You know what I'm saying? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good one. Let me tell y'all something. This episode, we just gonna chill this episode. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna chill. And we gonna be talking about a certain discussion. You saw the title. You saw the title, right? Does Luffy deserve to be called a Yankee? So this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for the longest time because there are certain things that I've seen in the One Piece community that I feel like some people are mistaken about, or maybe I can be mistaken about. Who knows? But we're gonna talk about it though, because I and then again, this is not a Luffy hate post. This is not a Luffy hate video, nothing like that. So don't expect. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit blurred. Okay, cool. So don't expect me to like hate, me hating on Luffy. Like saying like, Ty hates Luffy. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that. I love Luffy as a main character. Honestly, out of the big three, Luffy is my favorite, main character of all time. Honestly, for me, it's the way Luffy grinds. Instead of getting like a bullshit power up, like a lot of MCs had, like Ichigo or Naruto, for example. Even though I love those shows, their power ups a lot of the time be bullshit, especially Ichigo's. But with same with Naruto, with Luffy, his power ups are like creative ways to get over of an opponent. For a big example, Rob Lucci, when he fought him pre-time skip, and they fought for the first time, like briefly, at the Galila place. And Lucci mopped the floor with Luffy with ease. Ease, I tell you. Ease. Right? Sorry, guys. So, Molly whopped Luffy with ease, right? Now, Rob Lucci, for those of y'all that want to hate, whatever, Rob Lucci is a part of CP at the time, or the CP division. And he is the prodigy. He is the number one ace for the CP for the Cyberpole agency. He has studied martial arts to the point where he is superhuman. Okay. And on top of that, he has his depth, which he uses in tandem and well with his abilities. So that's what Luffy was dealing with. And he got blown away. Now to combat this, Luffy thought up of Gear 3, Gear 2 and Gear 3. Yeah, for both to deal with Rob Lucci. And we're going to get to that too. Um, but things like that is what I love about Luffy. He don't have a BS power up till we got to Gear 5, and I'm going to get to that too. But he's always thought of certain ways to use his devil fruit to combat the enemy he's facing, the main enemies that he's facing, right? And that's what I admire about this character. And he just want hands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he wants to go around and liberate other places. He says he's not a hero, but he is. You know what I mean? But he goes around liberating other places and saving people. You know what I mean? And I love the grind. I love Luffy's grind. When he gets defeated, he goes on training, like Mike Tyson training, like Muhammad Ali training. You know what I'm saying? I love that about Luffy. That's a main character, right? And I always felt like out of the three of them, Luffy was like the hardest working to me, to me, because even when you got um the other two, when you got Naruto, Naruto does train hard. Don't get me wrong, especially Kid Naruto. But Naruto had had Kurama. He had the fox spirit, so he already had a buff to begin with. And then you got Ichigo, who has every other freaking race that he's fought within himself. So he was already like OP from the beginning. Luffy wasn't like that. Luffy had to work himself to become where he is now, you know. Even though I never really liked Gear 5 like that, but I've kind of I don't completely love it, but I like it a little bit more than I did before. And that's hugely because of the anime, right? And I also like that it has limiters to the actual form because I always felt like Gear 5, and I said this like a couple of years ago when Gear 5 was introduced in Wano. Can't believe it's been 2 years. I've been doing this for like 3 years. It's crazy. So when Gear 5 happened, my fear was that Luffy was gonna have easy fights from now on because he can literally do anything. He can and we still don't really know what he can do, an explanation of what he can do. Because we've seen him like do cartoon eyes. He's made other people do cartoon eyes. He's conjured up glasses out of nowhere. Recently we just saw him make a bat in the helmet and just swing and then just start swinging. You know what I'm saying? So he can manipulate reality to a certain extent, but we don't have an actual what's the word? How can I say it? We don't have an actual explanation of what he's doing. All Otis said was he can he can put whatever he imagines he can do. I don't know what that means. We nobody knows what that means. So, with that said, with that said, so I wanted to say that to say this. Again, this is not a Luffy hate post. This is not what this is. You know what I'm saying? So please keep an open mind when you hear me explain why I honestly feel like Luffy doesn't really deserve to be called the Yonko yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go through why. So don't just say I'm saying this for no reason. I'm gonna go through the motions of why I feel that way. So the reason he was even called Yonko in the first place was due to Whole Cake Out, where Luffy went into Big Mom's territory and then got back out. Not unscathed, but he got back out. Now that's an embarrassment. That's a whole embarrassment, bro. And on top of that, he took one of the poneglyphs too. The pictures of the poneglyphs so so they can use it. So Straw Hats can use it to find the rogue poneglyph. You know what I'm saying? Um so yeah, so he was able to do that. And then from then on, Big News Morgans just called him a Yonko. And then after that, he was called a Yonko. And then his bounty went up too. So that also did it as well. So this kid literally surpassed being a warlord to a Yonko, which is insane. Now, mind you, he has beaten two warlords that I remember. One was one was definitely Crocodile, and the other one was Moria. Don't think he fought anybody else after that. Mihawk, he had skirmishes with, but no, I wouldn't really consider that a quote unquote fight. I wouldn't consider that. Um, Other than that, he's never really. He has. I don't think he's fought every Shishiku. I don't think he's fought every warlord. I don't think. I have to go back to that. But yeah. Well, for right now, he fought two warlords and beat. I actually know. Well, Delphamingo. Well, I'm gonna get for Doflamingo. Doflamingo too. I forgot about that one. So he skipped straight to warlord and then to Yonko, which is pretty crazy, right? But and I always wondered. Actually, I didn't like that he was called being a Yonko just because I don't think Luffy was ready to be called one yet, especially power wise, especially at that time. You know what I'm saying? Even after Wano, Luffy does have the power. Let me say that first, right? Luffy has the power to be called the Yonko. Let me say that first too. Um, because Luffy's encountered two Yonkos, Big Mom and Kaido, right? Big Mom and Kaido. However, Luffy has not defeated any one of these characters, right? Now I know you're saying, "Yo, Ty, what are you talking about?" Like Luffy defeated Kaido at Wano Arc. Yes and no, right? Yes and no, yes and no, yes and no, and I'm gonna get to that. So with Big Mom, let me get to Big Mom for a second. So Luffy never really fought Big Mom per se. The only thing he did was come at her at Gear 4. I forgot the attack, but he attacked her in Gear 4. And Big Mom swatted Luffy like a fly. And imbued him with and the haki was overloading him so much that he deflated into base form and knocked out for like a couple of for like a couple of moments. You know what I mean? So Luffy was definitely not ready to fight no Yonkos at that time. Even look at Katakuri versus Luffy, right? The first command, Katakuri, okay? Katakuri, one of my favorite characters in One Piece, right? Even when he fought him, Oda had to nerf Katakuri due to the fact that Katakuri was so powerful and overwhelming Luffy so much that you honestly, if Katakuri did not injure himself, you could not see this kid winning this fight. He would not have won that fight. Even if he was to get away somehow, somebody would have got him. He would not have won that fight. And I still think he did not win, particularly just because of that nerf. Also, because of Katakuri, in my opinion, I felt like he still could have kept going. But Luffy was so determined to become the Pirate King and to go forward that Katakuri was like, yo, I don't know if you could say come save me from Big Mom. I don't think that was the case. Maybe it was. I don't know. But Katakuri just decided to be like, yo, you got it, bro. You got it. And there was that. However, he also fought Cracker before that. And I think he was the third place commander. If I'm not mistaken, the third commander. He was the third commander. If I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Homie was the third commander, Cracker, right? And Luffy he was struggling with him too. To the point where Nami had to come in and help freaking Luffy, bro. Yeah, Luffy got it in the end with the tank man, which was pretty funny. But still, like just the fact that he had to get help from Nami, all people, to beat Cracker, is crazy. And that's my problem with a lot of Luffy's fights. Luffy's fights, they always have to have some sort of nerf to the villain that he's fighting. That's my main problem. And that's why I can't really sit here and say that he's a Yonko. I can't say that. because he's never really had a one-on-one fight up until we get the egghead. We're gonna get the egghead, but up until then, we never really seen him in a 1v1 fight where he with. Let me take that back. We never seen a 1v1 with him post time skip where he has a legit one-on-one fight and it's through and through and he overcame him and won. Because usually in Luffy's fights, he loses once or maybe twice before he gets the win. And and that's another thing too that I want to get to. A lot of Luffy's losses have to do with the fact that he is inexperienced. He's good at fighting, don't get me wrong, and he's very strategic, like he's very smart. He's battle smart when it comes to fighting. Like a lot of shonen MCs. However, the issue is that Luffy is a character is is that character in the One Piece world that only came out. He started shipping out sailing 2 years ago in One Piece world, which is insane. Like this kid literally left to the sea 2 years ago, maybe three, and now is the title of Yonko. That's insane. That is insane. Okay, that is insane. Now he's dealing with people that have vast experience and have accumulated power, skill, speed, and mastery over haki for a very long time. And you have Luffy defeating these men who and lady who have been in the game for decades. Decades. Decades, okay? And I'm saying that to say this. Again, when it comes to Luffy, he loses a lot of his fights usually because of lack of not lack of hockey, depending on what time we're talking about, but his inexperience when it comes to being in the pirate game. Okay, now a big example of this, I feel like really showed the difference more than Katakuri versus Luffy was Kaido versus Luffy. Okay, Kaido is one. Let me tell you something. Tell you something. The man, the myth, the legend. Kaido is one of my favorite characters, my favorite villains in One Piece, man. Let me tell you something. Kaido succeeded where Big Mom failed as a villain. Okay? As a character, as an OP character. He is an OP character done right. Okay? Hear what I'm saying again. Sorry. Kaido is a main villain character done right. He was introduced as a problem. He went out as a problem. And through that whole time, he's been a problem. Dude went through a night where he fought a total of maybe 15 to 18 people and was good. And was whooping all of their butts. Okay? Okay? Understand. Understand. Okay? So, and the thing I love about him was he did not give no Fs. Okay? He did not underestimate Luffy. A lot of Luffy's wins, especially pre-time skip, was because people underestimated him a lot of the time. The reason why Lucci lost that fight was because he heavily underestimated Luffy. And had he not took that Gear 3 attack, he probably would have won that fight somehow, some way. He more than likely would have won that fight. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. Just let me know what y'all think about what I'm saying so far. Let me know in the comments. Am I crazy? Am I wilding out? Am I right? Like, let me know. I want to hear you guys. You know what I'm saying? If y'all could come through, that's cool too. If you can't, that's fine as well. Because you're gonna see this video one way or another, right? So, um, so this is my thing with Kaido. Like I said, he has not underestimated Luffy. Luffy showed up to his front doorstep. Luffy gave it his best shot. Gear 4 was nothing happening. I think it's impressive the fact that Luffy is able to overcome Kaido in his dragon form. So I find that impressive. However, soon as Kaido went to base form, he one-shotted Luffy hard. In his strongest form at the time, mind you. Okay? Very impressive. Then we gonna fast forward to Onishigata, right? Now during that battle, Luffy was definitely upgrading. Okay. Not only was he able to use Rio, which is advanced armament haki, to where you can hit damage somebody from the inside, but Luffy also awakened conquerors hits. He can imbue conquerors in his attacks now to where like it looks like the characters are not hitting each other. You know what I'm saying? It's gotten to that point, and he can imbue the conquerors in his attacks. So honestly, Luffy became a monster at that point. That's when he crossed the threshold, I feel like, of being a monster. And then after that, he was clashing with Kaido. Break for break. You know what I'm saying? Took him down maybe once, twice, but he got right back up. However, Luffy, let me not go let me not go there first. Let me focus on Luffy and what he did during that fight. Homie was doing feats like splitting the sky with Kaido, just like Whitebeard and Roger did when they clashed with each other. Full conquerors hockeys. You know what I mean? Excuse me, you know what I mean? So power wise, I think, and I said this in the beginning. Power wise, I feel like Luffy is on that level of Yonko. That's how I feel. However, and I brought this up before, the thing that keeps Luffy from being that for me is experience with fighting. Yeah, he's gotten more experience. Yes, he's gotten more powerful, but he still needs to have that experience because whenever Luffy gets into these fights, a lot of the time he is not prepared. He's not experienced that much. He's done, yeah, he's experienced, yes, but these are dudes that we're talking about that are like 50 plus that have been out here in the game for decades and have accumulated hockey, uh, power, speed, all that good jazz. And like I said, going back to Kaido, I feel like Kaido is the best example of what I'm talking about because Luffy lost to this man 4 times. I still consider this Luffy's official. I still consider Luffy versus Kaido a loss for Luffy. I still consider that to this day. To this day. You know what? Y'all want to argue with me about it or debate with me about it? That's fine. But Luffy lost so much to this man, it just wasn't funny. He lost to him 4-0. And then they had the official title card of him losing before he went to Gear, right? And when you get to Kaido, even with Gear 5, Kaido, in his experience, yeah, he got overwhelmed at first. Yes, he did. Because he didn't know what was going on. But when he started fighting Luffy more and started to understand what was going on, he was able to overcome it. And he was still overcoming Luffy, even at Gear 5. And mind you, Luffy has not practiced with Gear 5 yet, so I have to give him that too. But still, Luffy got godlike power, and you got Kaido still whooping his butt. Then we get the famous line with him. Devil fruits are cool, but hockey is where it's at. Hockey is supreme out here. Roger didn't even have a devil fruit, and he became king of the pirates. Hockey's where it's at. And to an extent, he's not actually where we're at now in the story, in Egghead, proves even more that he's right. He knew the blueprint for conquering the world. You have to have hockey. If you don't have hockey, where you going? It can only go by so far. That's what Luffy had to learn. And it was because of his hockey mastery is why he was able to get over on Luffy so much. And a lot of other people too. It's crazy. Even when you look at Dofi, Dofi wasn't also an example because Dofi was so strong. I don't know if he was the strongest. I don't know if he was the strongest warlord. Now that I see what I seen in Egghead, I might have to give that to Kuma, but we'll see. I might make a video on that too. That's another idea. What was it? Yeah, Dofi. So Dofi was not able. I mean, I'm sorry, Luffy was not able to overcome Dofi before Gear 4 because Dofi had strength and power and mastery over his devil fruit to where he can overcome Luffy a lot. And Luffy, again, Luffy had Gear 2 and Gear 3 mastery to where he doesn't get tired anymore. He doesn't get tired like that. Shoot, he was using Gear 2 a lot for his attacks post time skip, where he had to like really go into that form to do it. He didn't even have to do the stance to do it, honestly. He could just do it out of the wind. So, but Doflamingo was so powerful that Gear 2 and Gear 3 by themselves wasn't going to cut it. So he had to mix speed, power, and hockey to really get over on Dolphin. Hence Gear 4. Yeah, man. Right? And mind you, this is why I keep saying I need to see 1v1 with Luffy where there's no interference. Luffy, it started out as a 2v. I'm sorry, it started off as a 4v1 to a 2v1 to a 1v1 because Law and I forgot Treble was in the mix when that happened, right? And during the Gear 4 and during Bound Man, Bound Man overcame Dofi because he also underestimated Luffy as well. To the point where, it was I forgot what attack it was. I think it was King Kong gun. I'm not 100% sure. When he slammed Doflamingo into the wall hard. But then Luffy tried to finish it and then he ran out of time for Gear 4. Because there's always a time limit with his new abilities. His new gears. So if it wasn't for the townspeople, and yeah, if it wasn't for the townspeople giving him that time, that would have been it. That would have been it for him. That would have been it. And that's part of the problem too. That's part of the problem. That's why I can't really consider him a Yonko because Oda always nerfing these people that he's fighting to accommodate to secure that W for Luffy. And that's why I can't really give it to him like that. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy. I can't give it to him like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Okay? Y'all let me know. Right? Uh, and then yeah, and then we got and then well, I feel like for me to really know if Luffy's ready to be a Yonko, to really truly fit that title, he needs to have a one-on-one with a Yonko level character. If we see Big Mom come back, I want to see a Big Mom versus Luffy. No breaks, no intervention, just one-on-one. Now people keep saying that Big Mom and Kaido are done. They're gone. I don't think so because we never really got an official thing that he's gone. And the thing with Oda is with Oda and Def, he makes it a big deal, especially with characters like those, because he never really offs his characters. He never does really. The only ones that really were off during the whole story was uh excluding like backstories, were really what's his face? Damn. Whitebeard and Ace. Those are the only ones. Those are the only ones, honestly. So I don't know, man. Y'all let me know though. Like, am I right or am I wrong? Like, let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, give me like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Give me like two seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to get my food. I'm about to eat before I go to the movies to watch my man Godzilla versus Kong. Because I heard that was fly too. So you know I gotta go see that. What was I saying? What was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, and then I talked about Big Mom already. I talked about Kaido. But yeah, man, like sorry y'all, because I had to write down what I had to say, and I just hope everything. Oh yeah, okay. So now we're gonna go into Egghead real quick, right? So Egghead is let me just say this, man. Let me just say this. Egghead is one of the best arcs we've had in a very long time. Very long time. Mostly because we're getting questions to answers that we've been having for decades now. Since when we started. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that makes it really good is the facts that we've been getting. Zoro versus Luffy, especially Saturn, the Gorosei, Shanks, Kid, Law, Blackbeard, Blackbeard's crew versus Kobe and the goat Garp, etc. But I want to focus on Luffy versus Kizaru. I want to focus on that. Then we get to Saturn, but let me focus on Luffy versus Kizaru. This was good. I'm glad we got this. I'm glad Oda did this because, like I said before, we needed something to tell us that Luffy is ready to fight in Apple. We needed something like this, right, y'all? We needed something like this, and I'm glad we got it. Hold on, y'all. And I'm glad we got it, because I needed to know if Luffy was strong enough to deal with somebody that's strong as an admiral. Now, everybody want to sit there and talk about the admiral stocks have gotten low. Everybody want to sit there and say that. Everybody want to sit there and say the admirals aren't strong. The admirals are weak. Yonko's here. Here are the admirals. I don't think that's the case. And I don't think that's the case because we've never really seen the admirals fight any Yonkos at all. We haven't seen that. So I can't sit here and say, oh, they're stronger. The Yonkos are way stronger. I can't say that. I can't. You know what I mean? So Luffy versus Kizaru, right? Uh Sorry guys, give me 1 second, y'all. So Luffy versus Kizaru was was like a surprise to me because I didn't think we were gonna get that fight at all. But I'm glad we did because there needed to be some payback. Luffy needed to get payback for Shaboda. Luffy versus Kizaru then was dog yo. Kizaru was treating Luffy like dog water. Lost all his crew, all that good stuff. Or bad stuff, however you want to call it. However, now we've gotten to the point where Luffy was slamming, and I love that image where Luffy was slamming Kizaru with a gear with not gear for it. Sorry, with a conqueror's haki fist. And homie, and you just see Kizaru like, oh, y'all got a lot of strength then. Okay. Hey, that's how you want to play it? Let's play it. And then after that, you really, during their first fight, you really just saw Kizaru he really did go through the motions of trying to get away from Luffy and trying to fight Luffy at the same, trying to get to his goal of getting rid of Bonnie, and not really Bonnie, but more of uh Vegapunk. You know what I mean? Um Even though he did not want to do it, he stated many times he did not want to take his he didn't want to take his life. But he is a dog. He gonna do what he got to do. And during that fight, um, he saw some things we never really seen Kizaru do. Like I know he was doing light clones, for an example. And then Gear 4 was no match for Kizaru. Is when Luffy got to Gear 5, that's when he started to be a problem. So that told me that Luffy has to go to Gear 5 to deal with the enemies. He has to. He has to go to his strongest form to deal with these people. That lets me know where he's at power wise. He's powerful enough to fight an admiral, but not to defeat them. I think that's where we're at right now. Because mind you, during that fight, Luffy actually during both rounds, Luffy hit Kizaru 3 times and knocked him down. One was the Dwarf Star Gun. The other two were just regular hits. Oh, and then I forgot. Oh, this is crazy. He also turned homie into a frisbee and just threw him to one of the battleships hard, like raw. You know what I'm saying? And now he's down for the count. But even before then, homie got hit 3 times. He was still able to get up. Still able to get up. Mind you, that first Dwarf Star Gun, homie hit him with full conquerors. Haki with that one. And Luffy also uses Awakening to hit the shit out of Kizaru, which he got hit to the wall, to the building hard. And Luffy timed down on Gear 5 and he was out. While uh Kizaru used Kuma's backstory to get his stuff together. So he was up and ready to go. Now he had his ring, he had the ring in his head, sure. And it took him a little bit to get up, but Kizaru was still able to get up. And then even after that, Luffy also hit Kizaru twice after that. Still able to get up after that. So again, I feel like from that fight, I feel like he's ready to fight an admiral, but he's not. He can't defeat them yet. I think that's the thing. He's not able to defeat them yet. That's the thing. And then we have Saturn. Luffy has Luffy's been fighting Saturn. Then now he's fighting the Gorosei as well. And the thing about this is none of his attacks are harming the Gorosei. Now I think that's because Luffy has to use haki to hit them. Now, also, y'all need to, if y'all haven't not figured it out, but have y'all not noticed, Luffy hasn't been using haki at all during the second fight with Kizaru and up. He hasn't been using haki. Not at all. He's used himself to be a giant. He's done that, but he hasn't used haki yet. And I think this is also to let us know that Gear 5, how can I say this? Gear 5 has that stamina issue, or why Luffy has that stamina issue, is because he uses haki as well. When you're using haki, that's gonna run up the time limit, and that's gonna make him more tired. Because even now, he doesn't really get tired like that. He hasn't been tired. He's still in Gear 5. He's been in Gear 5 for like 5, 10 chapters now. Maybe a little bit more than that during this battle. And he's still ripping and running in Gear 5. But notice he hasn't used haki. And I feel like with the Gorosei and why Saturn is not being hurt by Luffy's attacks, it's because he hasn't imbued haki in. I feel like that's the problem. That's what I'm thinking right now. And if that's the case, there could be the secret to defeating them because the Gorosei are very powerful, and you're gonna have to. And then they're using something that we've never seen before. The way that they've been using certain attacks is like we don't know if it's hockey, we don't know if it's something else. Even when they're using the devil abilities, so called, I don't know if that's hockey or not because even when you see them getting summoned, we see the hockey lightning and we see people get knocked out that aren't vice admirals and above. So, with that said, this is a new form of hockey that we've never seen before. Even when you look at Shanks, when he used his hockey on Green Bull and then on with Kid when he just demolished him. Can't wait to see that in the anime. No shame, but I can't wait to see that in the anime. Even when they used it on those counts, right? We never seen that use of hockey before. Now with well, it's actually a little bit more with Green Bull because we never seen anybody get wrapped up in hockey like that before. So we've learned that there are different types of ways you can use hockey. There are different ways. Not just from what we've seen with imbuing conquerors into your hits. There's more than hockey than that. There's more to it than that. More to it than that. Even when you saw Blackbeard, when he fought Law in the anime, and I'm glad they covered this because Law. Blackbeard was able to use his conquerors imbued with his devil fruit when he uses the tremor fruit, Whitebeard's fruit. I'm just saying. And then even when you saw Law can use hockey to counteract anything that hits him. Just like you saw with Doc Q in his disease fruit. Law used hockey to get rid of the woman disease that he had in, we saw Lady Law. So there's a different ways. I think Egghead has really done well showing us that you can use hockey different ways, you know. And I think Luffy's seeing that too. So maybe we'll see something in the future to where Luffy can have something to counteract the Gorosei. Now, let's get to the end of this. Okay, let's get to the conclusion. Let's get to the conclusion. So again, let me say this again. This is not a shit post for Luffy. That's not what this is. This is to determine if Luffy is a legit Yonko or not. He has power. Nobody says he's not. He has the power. However, in my opinion, he does not have the experience to be a Yonko. Tried and true Yonko. I feel like Oda needs to show us a situation where Luffy does not have to rely on plot armor and and nerfing to win a fight with someone that is as that's stronger than him or as strong as him. I feel like we need to get those kind of fights. I feel like we need those, you know. And again, y'all may disagree with me. That's fine. That's fine. But let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know in the comments. I feel like he needs a little bit more experience before we can really say that he is a tried and true Yonko. I feel like we need to have that for him, in my opinion. Uh, for me to be comfortable with that, I'm gonna need no interference from nobody. I need just a straight up fight between him and a high level character. That's what I feel like. Oh. All right, y'all. So listen, that was the end of the stream. I think I'm gonna end it right here. Let me know if you guys like this or not. I know some of y'all couldn't come because it's Saturday, blase blase. And I'm also trying out a different time to see, because I definitely want to talk to you guys. I want you guys to come through when we do the reviews. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what time is good for y'all. If this is a great time, let me know in the comments down below. We can do it at 6. Let me know. And we're not gonna have any chapters for the next for the next month. So we are going to be doing things here and there. We're gonna be having stuff like this so we can talk about it. Discussions so we can talk about it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought about what I've said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you consider Luffy a Yonko? Do you not? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay. And yeah, guys, we're gonna get out of here. I love you guys. Deuces. Be safe. Have a good one. And I'll see you in the next one. Later, y'all. Oh, and support the channel, please. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Definitely like this video. Definitely will help out the algorithm. So, we get it out there. And I keep making more. I can keep making more stuff.